This video is for entertainment purposes only. It is not meant to bully or harass anybody. Today we're going to talk about Project Looking Glass, and this subject fascinates me. I am not a scientist. I am terrible at math. When I was a fifth grader, in my class, we were doing long division on the board, and I was sitting up near the board with the other kids who couldn't see very well. And the teacher called on me and she said, "What's the next number in this equation?" And I was having trouble understanding. And right there in front of everyone, she says, "You're just not getting this." And she kicked me out. And she said, "You go to the class next door." And I had to go to the class next door. And that was the slower math class. And that math class was so fun. We played Monopoly every Friday, and nobody ever died in Monopoly. If you lost all your money, you had to sit out for the day. And then when we played Monopoly the next time, you'd still get your money and start over again. And that teacher was so much nicer. She gave us candy, and I just had an even better time. So it worked out for the better. I just thought you'd have to hear that story. I also failed algebra 2-3 times. I even took it in summer school, and I just would not get it. I took it in college and got an A when I started doing it my own way. The way that they were teaching me was not working. So when I do things my own way, it's easier for me to understand, and then I'm able to explain it to others. In the 90s, I saw the gyroscope on TV. It's this ride where they strap you in and spin you around. And it reminded me of the looking glass technology. It also reminded me of something called the witch's cradle. This is from encyclopedia.com. During the witchcraft persecutions in Europe, inquisitors were said to have sometimes put an accused witch in a bag, which was then strung up over the limb of a tree and set swinging. When witches learned about this punishment, they experimented with it themselves and found that the sensory deprivation or confusion of senses it caused induced hallucinatory experiences. A similar technique has long been used by shamans and dervishes, and sometimes known as dervish dangling. It involves being suspended by a rope tied around the waist. And look up whirling dervishes. The spinning can cause you to go into a different state of consciousness. Project Looking Glass is mysterious. From what I'm understanding, it's an ancient technology. It is difficult to find extensive information about this on the internet. But they did make a computer program about it. And I don't know if it's the same thing, but it's called Project Looking Glass. It is now inactive free software project under the GPL to create an innovative 3D desktop environment for Linux, Solaris, and Windows. It was sponsored by Sun Microsystems. Looking Glass is programmed in the Java language using the Java 3D system to remain platform independent. Despite the use of graphics acceleration features, the desktop explores the use of 3D windowing capabilities for both existing application programs and one specifically designed for Looking Glass. So this is a computer thing. And if they can create this kind of event with hallucinations and alternate dimensions using the spinning, what makes people think they can't do it inside a computer too? White Rabbit, a CERN-born technology, sets a new global standard. White Rabbit is a technology developed at CERN to provide the LHC accelerator chain with deterministic data transfer, sub-nanosecond accuracy, and a synchronization precision of a few picoseconds. I've never heard of that. First used in 2012, the technology has since then expanded its applications outside the field of particle physics and is now deployed in numerous scientific infrastructures worldwide. So you guys have heard about the CERN. And the reason the scientists name the projects after Alice in Wonderland is just because they like it. A lot of the guys that research these things and make these things are very much into fantasy And they take a lot of the names and themes from there. In the movie The Lawnmower Man, there was a similar device where we have the lawnmower man who is a special needs man and he's very slow, and then they hook him up into the machine and they spin him around in that gyroscope, that witch's cradle, and he comes out and he is a charismatic and incredibly handsome man, but he becomes evil. Pierce Brosnan's in this movie. It's really good. I do talk about movies a lot, but it helps me show you and give you a better picture of the technologies that actually exist. The movie Contact, the machine is similar to that spinning gyroscope witch's cradle. In the final boss fight in Silent Hill 4, The Room with Walter, the same gyroscope is seen spinning in blood. And this is a very scary scene. Let's just go ahead and watch this for a little bit. So there it is right there. And you got to fight this guy named Walter, and he has a gun, and you don't have anything. Well, it doesn't show him with a gun right there. Then you got to fight him and run around the room and throw the spears at the monster. It's really hard. And then he has special powers. And then you get a gun somehow. If you don't save Eileen, she'll walk into the machine. And that guy's like, roar, roar. And then she goes into the machine. And this is the bad ending. I always got the bad ending. This game was so hard. I couldn't get any other endings. It was so hard. And it took me forever. This is from CamelotProductions.com. And Bill Wood, Above and Beyond Project Looking Glass, an interview with an ex-Navy SEAL. So he was trained in Area 51 as a specially gifted group of highly classified spies to see beyond the famous looking glass technology into the future involving 2012 and beyond. So there's a interview on YouTube with There's an interview with Bill Wood on YouTube with the Project Camelot lady. And then there's another one with another lady, and I'm going to really try to find those and link it below in the description. But in the second interview, he says he didn't quite get along with the Camelot lady because she dominated the conversation and asked him questions that they said they wouldn't talk about before the interview. Just to get really scared with all of this crazy stuff that is happening, and ever since I was a child, I'd like to go to the other part of the library. Most of the children like the colorful books with the fairy tales, and I liked the back section of the library, and I found almost a paranormal or occult section at my school library in elementary school, and I found a book on Nostradamus. In that book, it says that the world is going to end in 1999, and it didn't, but we did have, what was that? Y2K. And I remember all my little classmates in high school were talking about, oh, it's the end of the world and we're going to go loot downtown and bring your baseball bats. And the news was just making it go crazy. And that came and went. The world didn't end. And then in 2012, there was a huge event in December. And after that, I thought the world is going to end. That was the date, the Mayan calendar end of the world came on December 21st, 2012. And I thought that was the end of the world. And it has come and gone. And some people believe the elites do have a plot to take over the world, but they can't quite do it. The humans aren't quite going along with the programming and the brainwashing because the humans are awakening and they're realizing the deception, and the veil is being lifted the scales are falling from people's eyes. I know my third eye was busted wide open in 2018. March of 2018 is when it all came together. I have been reading about this stuff all my life, but sometimes you just need that little piece to the puzzle to make a complete picture. And we'll never know the whole picture, but I love trying to figure it out. Bill Wood describes our current events as two master chess players at the board. One is in check, and he knows it. And there's only a few moves left, and no matter how he moves, the game is going to end a certain way. With the looking glass technology, Bill Wood says, eventually the timelines condense down and it creates almost a bottleneck, and then there is only one possibility, but that could split into two different timelines. It's all very complicated. It sounds like a science fiction movie, and I'm doing the best I can to try to explain it. It blows my mind. So I don't think I'll be spinning myself around in a witch's cradle anytime soon, but a nap in a hammock sounds really nice. I hope you enjoyed that video. I really enjoyed making this, and I hope you all have a great day.